drill problem. We're not going to run different drills.
No, it's not. I mean, we do differently. Yeah, we just got every drill we do the same drills everybody in America does. But what, and again, that's the other frustrating thing is we've practiced really well, and it just hasn't shown up on game day consistently. And I think some of it too is you have a team of young people that's been affected by disappointment. They've been affected by failure, been affected by criticism and noise, and you do everything you can to guard against that, but they're young people. And sometimes, that can all of a sudden you're playing tight, you're doing too much, you're trying too hard, and hasn't gone the way you want, and you can get frustrated. So, I mean, they're learning a lot of lessons, through this. They're equipping themselves and learning a lot of lessons that will pay off for them, as they move through this season, as they move through their life. Certainly young guys on this team, they're learning a lot too, but I mean, that's the world we live in, and you have to be able to navigate that. But there's no question that they've been affected by that, but that's the reality.
You mentioned on your radio show as well, you got scrimmage last Wednesday.
Yep.
I was just curious, is that common during the bye week, or is it just amid the struggles?
Yeah, I do. No, I usually will do some live work during the bye week every year. But you're trying to get some guys. It depends too on where you are in your season. Where did the bye week fall? How have games gone? Where have you been able to play a lot of people? And so we haven't been able to play a ton because just nature of our games and how they've gone. So it was a good opportunity to scrimmage some guys who haven't really been able to get in the games much, and then try to evaluate some of these guys from a live standpoint. So it was good work. Not as much the ones that have, played a lot of snaps. They just played on Saturday, but a lot of the twos and guys that haven't had as many game live reps, that's what we wanted to get done.
How do you evaluate play call? What has to get better there?
It's not good enough anywhere. I mean, we're 1-3, so nothing's good. Nothing's good.
Record, though, I'm just curious.
What'd you say?
Beyond just the record, I'm curious.
Well, again, there's been a lot of plays that are there that we haven't made, and that's frustrating as a coach when you watch the tape and you're in position to be successful, but it doesn't happen. Well, still, that's us as coaches. Period. So there's been good play call and there's been bad. I mean, there's always good and bad. But we're 1-3, not good enough.
Will there be any major changes in terms of the depth chart, the personnel, and playing time, stuff like that?
I don't think so. Again, I mean, not at this point. I think we're playing our best players, and we got good players. We lost one safety, one linebacker, and one deep tackle. That's it off of defense. We lost one tight end, we lost one running back in Muffa, and we lost one offensive lineman, Marcus Tate. So we've got good players, and we're not playing like we're capable of playing. But you're always evaluating your personnel, and if we need to make changes, we will. That's always something you do. But we gotta get these guys playing with the confidence. You got a team that's, again, I think lost some confidence, been affected. Noise is loud, everything's terrible, and we gotta coach our way through it. It's our job as coaches.
Justin Williams from The Athletic. You mentioned not changing up drills or anything like that. What about whether it's like team routine or your personal routine? Are you someone that's going to change that up, or do you kind of stick with it?
Yeah, I'm changing underwear. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change underwear. Listen, man, I've been doing this a long time. I believe in what we do. Again, as I said, from a program standpoint, we ain't ever been better. Our program things are great. And it's doing what it's supposed to do. This is this season, this team, this moment. It's different every year. Every year is a different challenge, different journey, and what we need to change up is just clean up our execution. If that means we gotta put the bag on your left hand or whatever, then whatever. But it's It's not any of that. We have a very proven process here. Again, you know, I know y'all don't like to, everybody say, you know, say, I'm just stating, I mean, we've won 10 championships in 10 years. 10. Who's done that? Nobody. 10. 8 titles, league titles, and 2 national championships in the past 10 years. Not 10 years ago, as recent as last year. So it's not broken. It's not. But this team and this issue, we've done a poor job as coaches with this group. You know, getting them to, you know, and there's a lot. Again, you can maybe make a couple more plays and you win a game, and, you know, the confidence is, there's a lot that goes into it. But that's where we are right now. But as far as not believing in what we do or how we do it, I have total conviction in that. There's no doubt in that. We just got to be better.
Is there anyone you sought advice from, or any source you sought advice from?
Nope. Man upstairs, that's the only advice I need. That's it. God's good all the time, man. All the time. You know, it's easy to stand up there on a national I'm the same coach that has stood on podiums with national championships and confetti flying. And thank you, good Lord, for blessing. I thank him right now. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the good Lord for right now. God's good all the time. Hey, he's not just good when it goes your way. That's not how this thing works. God is good all the time. So that's the counsel that I seek. You know, so it's not complicated. You know, we're not building rockets around here. I mean, this is football. It's football stuff, man. It's playing harder than the opponent. It's getting to the ball. It's creating takeaways. It's ball security. If we just change the turnovers, we're probably 3-1, and don't do anything different. You know, just the turnovers. You know, we're doing a poor job in that area. It's football stuff. So, I mean, but I've sought a lot of counsel from the good Lord, a bunch, and you know what he tells me? Hey, I love you, and you got you right where I want you. Trust me. That's what I do. So my faith is in that, and I know that all things work together. And I just, you know, don't like it. None of us like. We all like it when it goes exactly the way we want and the way we want it, you know, scripted out. But life rarely happens that way. So, but again, I know that God's good all the time, and I'm grateful for the crap too. I'm grateful for this bad moment that we're in. It'll make us better. We'll come out of it better.
You mentioned a lot of the players are now being compensated in ways they haven't before. They're not just on scholarship before. Do you find yourself changing the way that you communicate or coach players with that added professionalism aspect of college football now?
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, I think that's just a part of it. I mean, it's a part of the conversation. It's a part of your process. It's not the process, but it's a part of it. You know, it's another you know, box that you got to check when you're putting everything together. So certainly stuff you didn't used to have to talk about, you have to talk about, you deal with, and you got to help them. You coach them, you're teaching them, they're learning. To me, it's a great opportunity to even further equip them for life, which we've always done a great job with. So just part of it. I mean, there's more pressure on them, there's more criticism on them because people look at them differently too, and that just comes with the territory.
Sarkeesian was hitting on that, I think, yesterday, in light of not just Arch, but he said he watched a lot of players over the weekend that looked like they were feeling the pressure, and he said what he's trying to do is get them to play football, not work football. Does that resonate?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still just a game. I mean, they're all learning because some of these kids are really young, right? And now they got a lot on them. I mean, there's a lot on them at a very young age. And so it's definitely a part of, you know, what you have to do as a coach. You know, it's just it's everything. If you're going to be a good coach, you have to be a holistic coach. You can't just be a, you know, guy who can teach them a good stance and good start. I mean, not in this world. I mean, because they're not pros. I mean, they're just not. They're not mature like that. They haven't lived enough life. They haven't. And this is a whole new first time with pros. They've been gone from home. Like by the time you become a pro, they've been gone from home. They've had a lot of these guys. First time they've been away, And now all of a sudden you add this in. There's certainly, but that's part of it. It just comes with it. You got to learn how to navigate it, and that's what we have to do as coaches to help them. And it's a lot easier when it's going great. Again, when you ain't that far away from being on the right side of things. You're really not. But the reality is you're on the wrong side of it, and it all smells. So you lock up, and but you know what? It's a great opportunity to teach. I said that the other day. I mean, to me, there's good in everything. I mean, this is life. This is life. I said, listen, I know y'all, there's people that hate me because I'm the coach at Clemson. There's people who love me because I'm the coach at Clemson. There's people who love me because we win. And then there's people who love me, all right? They just love me. It doesn't matter what my job title is or whatever. And that's also a blessing too, because you know, being 1-3 gives you an opportunity to maybe have some conversations that 4-0 wouldn't give you. It just wouldn't, so you get a chance to, I don't know what you're talking about with Sark, but you get a chance to coach and teach maybe in a way that you don't always get. So we got to take advantage of that. I told the staff that, hey, this is also, let's don't miss an opportunity here, it might be 20 years from now. One of these guys is going to be speaking at their company, or they're going to be talking to their child, or they're going to be dealing with some situation, and they're going to say, you know what? The best thing ever happened to me was back in college, and let me tell you what I learned. Let me tell you what that taught me. And that's how God works. And so that's what I mean by, something good will come from this. Something. I look back on a lot of bad things that I hated at the time. They turned out to be, I can look back now and say, here's what I learned from that. That stunk, but it made me better. And something good will come from this. But we're getting opportunities as coaches. Like, I've had conversations with these guys, and I've been able to hear their hearts, see their hearts, witness to them in a way that I wouldn't have had if we were 4-0. So, there's positives. But, hey, we're in a result business. And, we got to find a way to win some games, and that's what our focus is. But I do think we have I always say the soil is fertile in the valley. And we are certainly in the valley of disappointment right now. And we have an opportunity to help nurture and grow these kids into the type of men that we want them to be through challenge, through disappointment. So I see that as part of our role.
Has there been any players in particular whose leadership has impressed or surprised you during this time?
I don't think, not that I would say surprise me, but I have been very impressed by some of these guys and just like their words. Like, we have what we call the council. And man, if y'all could hear these guys articulate, like, where there ain't no cameras and it's just, not worried about somebody putting something on social media and, everybody taking clickbait and creating their own whatever that world does. Like, these guys, these are some smart. I told the staff. In fact, I held it up because I get the council notes, and I was like, "This is what gives me hope in our future right here. When you have young people like this, who can think like these guys, who can process like these guys, who can articulate like these guys, in the midst of a really bad situation in our world that we're living in right now, man, it just makes you have hope for our future." We've got some amazing young men that they're just wired really well, and they can think, and they can. Like we should just publish the council notes. I wouldn't do that, but nobody would want to write it anyway. Does everybody want something negative? Everybody wants something, I'm sure somebody will take something I said today and make some negative article about it. Man, we got some great kids. And so I've been able to see their heart in a way that's you don't always get. You don't always get that opportunity. And I've been able to connect with them a little deeper than you don't always get. And we got people who love this place. And a kid like Antonio Williams, for example, he was kind of nonchalant and casual. He and I didn't get along very well his freshman year. He'll be the first one to tell you that. But to see him now, who he is as a man, the leader that he's grown into, his heart to see him stand up and speak, like, not surprised, but impressed by a lot of these guys. So, everybody's disappointed and all that stuff, but hey, man, it's a long way to go. A lot of ball left. And again, it's been a good open date, good reset. And now we got to go see if we can fix the football stuff, because it's football stuff. It's football stuff, and we can fix that. And that's what we got to try to get done this week.
Coach, what are some things in those council notes that made you so proud of these guys?
Just their words. Literally their words. Took me 30 minutes to read it. It was incredible. Their hearts. Just how they process their hurt and their disappointment. What their vision forward is. It's amazing. So we have what we call a huddle, and that's everybody that touches our kids. Everybody who's not a coach. Anybody who touches our players, the equipment guy, the trainer, the academic people, the support staff, and Woody runs that. And I've been doing that for 17 years, and the reason I do that is because, staff meetings can get bogged down, and you want to be efficient when you get in your staff meetings. There's lots to do, and sometimes your coaches are busy, and you don't want to take a lot of time in a staff meeting, trying to hit every area of your program. And so we do the huddle notes, and then I get the huddle notes. And sometimes, too, people aren't, like early on, like the academic guy wants to say something bad about the linebacker, and the linebacker coach is looking at me, you say something bad about the linebacker in front of the head coach, I'm going to rip your head off. That's not always a good environment. And I realized that early, you want everybody to really be comfortable to speak in those settings. And so, and again, you can get bogged down. And so, we created this huddle years ago, and I get the huddle notes on Tuesday nights. Huddle meets on Tuesday morning. I get the huddle notes on Tuesday nights, and then I go through. So now everybody can speak freely. I'm not even in the huddle, and so everybody can speak freely. I get all the notes, and then I can go through what the staff needs. They don't, like Ben Boulware doesn't need to know every little thing that, there's just certain things they don't need to worry about. But then there's other times where they need to hear it from me, and it hits different coming from me than maybe somebody else in the program. Hey, we need to keep that freaking locker room clean. And instead of coming from the equipment manager, it's coming from me. So there's just a lot of, and that's how we've always been proactive. We've always, been efficient. But then that group of people, they select what's called the council. And the council is a different layer because they have a different lens, right? The video guy, the academic guy, the manager, they have different lens on how they see the players. And so they select the council. And I meet with the leadership group on Monday and Fridays, our senior leaders, and then they select some juniors and sophomores, so always coaching leadership, and then Woody will meet with the council. And so we're just very proactive, and it's just a lot of communication that goes on in our program. And again, that's one of the reasons that, our program's never been better. Our program's doing what it's supposed to do. It's driving consistency, and it's fulfilling the purpose at an incredibly high level. Unbelievable. Every signing class in 17 years has won a championship, except for these freshmen, and they'll have plenty of opportunity. Every coach, every coordinator, except for Tom Allen. So the program's doing what it's supposed to do. And, I know people say, well, you hadn't won in a decade. No, that's just not true. Us, Alabama and Georgia have won 2 national championships in the last decade. They're hard to win. And, but we're in a moment right now where our season has not gone well, and we've got a good team, but we're not playing like a good team. And that's a coaching failure. Period. The end. And that starts with me. And I take complete ownership. And it's my job to fix it. It's my job to fix it, and I will fix it. But we've always fixed whatever. That's what's, again, driven the consistency that we've had. But what we're dealing with right now is truly football stuff. And we can do something about that. And that's what we're going to try to do. And it's not that we haven't been trying, we just hadn't got the results. And again, a little bit of a perfect storm, a little bit of a perfect storm. But that's our reality. As I always say, God never says oops. It didn't catch God by surprise. It caught us by surprise, but it didn't catch God by surprise, and we'll get better from it. We'll keep moving, push forward, and we'll give God the glory all the way. We may not win another game. We may win them all. But it's going to be a good story no matter what, because it's going to be God's story, and we'll be better.
With Kate specifically, what are some of those